It is 2:15. You two are both laughing. Last time I did one of these videos, I was by myself at 12:30. All right, so I appreciate this.
Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m., right?
Yeah, our
thought it
photographer's
was midnight,
sleeping.
I can't blame him.
12:30. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Ohio lost to
They did?
to Western Michigan, number 17 team in the country. Friday night. It's now Saturday morning in Ford Field in Detroit.
Score was 29-23.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about it. We've written a lot about it. We've got at least 8 stories right now. The one thing I want to talk about, though, is, like, let's just be honest, what we think. I'll go first. Greg Wyndham should have started the game. I think Greg Wyndham probably should have, if he was healthy, should have started against Akron. Did well tonight, 3 touchdowns, 214 yards, and the INT, but if Ohio would have kept him in, I don't think that would have been a problem. They started with another quarterback instead. Quentin Maxwell, he fumbled on his first pass of the game. His second pass was overthrown. That wasn't even a pass.
It was
and
a pass. It was over. Yeah. It was
Yeah,
over.
to Kyle Belak. I think it would be a lot different if that would have been made. What do
I
you guys
mean, I
But
think-
it could be. You don't have to just talk about that.
Look, I mean, the toughest thing to do right now is probably the toughest thing that any competitor, coach, player has to do in sports is when you're done with a game, you go back, you look at what you did, you think about what you did, and I think the toughest thing right now is to say they just weren't good enough. And because I think the storylines would have been if Greg Wyndham had came back and on that interception, the linebacker for Western Michigan drops the ball. Spillane, I think is his name. Spillane,
Yeah,
something like that.
That kid, whoever you are.
But I think the storyline is he drops that football, and then the next play, Greg Wyndham hits Sebastian Smith, is Ohio steals one from Western Michigan. I think you just have to look in the mirror and say Ohio was not the better team. Ohio only rushed for, I think, 37 rushing yards. To be completely honest.
Yeah, but so did Western.
So
though.
see, well, that's the thing. That's what you expect from Western Michigan. You expect the Bobcats to stop the Western Michigan offense. I think the thing was in the first half, Corey Davis absolutely torched the Bobcats, and that was the problem. I
Second half
think the
tempo.
Bobcats weren't that great on special teams tonight. They weren't that great defending the pass. And then late in the game when they needed to stop with about 6 minutes left, Western Michigan marched the ball about 40 or 50 yards. They were able to kick a field goal. And, if Ohio maybe gets a hold 10 yards more, maybe he misses the kick. And, that's revisionist history for you.
Story of the season has been the offense not been able to produce after the defense makes plays.
Yes.
The defense,
Truth.
they make plays
Truth.
throughout the
It's
season.
late.
But the offense isn't able to capitalize on the plays that they make, and that showed tonight. The defense had 2 interceptions.
Against a guy who'd only thrown 1 interception.
Brad Ellis, Kyle Nelson have interceptions. They get a touchdown after Brad Ellis's interception, but they only get a field goal after Nelson's interception. So I think going forward for next year, for the bowl game and for next year, Ohio's going to need to actually have an offense, and they're going to need to move the ball down the field better because Greg Wyndham's going to be gone.
Yeah.
So Quentin Maxwell is the incumbent basically for quarterback. Quentin Maxwell, he's going to need to get better. He's going to need to be a little bit more decisive because he can kind of get out the pocket and be like, what am I doing, kind of thing. But he's a freshman. It'll come. Yeah.
I think the big thing.
Running out of time.
I know we're running out of time. I think the big thing going into spring practice and next season has got to be mental toughness for Ohio. If Coach Solich does come back next year, which I think is fair to question at this point, not that he should leave. I mean, I think he's a great coach and I think he's done everything great for Ohio. I just think that Quentin Maxwell got pulled in the first quarter. That's got to be tough on a redshirt freshman. They lost 4 times in the last 12 years in a MAC championship. That's got to be tough on any team. They need to be mentally tough going forward because if they don't, then next year maybe you're talking about a 6-6 team and you're starting all over again with a new coach.
We'll give you more coverage as we go. We're going to go sleep. Good night.
So I thought we were driving back.
Oh, no. Who knows anymore?